7, 6, 11, 5, 9 and 20 miles today, 4, 11, 17, 32 the day before. Boost, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Don't look at what's in front of you. Boost, 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 moving up and down again. Men go mad with watching them. There's no discharge in the war.
I'm afraid.
Stay close to me. I sense evil brewing.
If your eyes drop, they will get the top of you. Boost, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Try to think of something different. Keep from going lunatic. Moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. 7, 6, 11, 5, 4, 17, 32 the day before.
AI filmmaking is really coming alive, and honestly, some of the graphics and output coming out of technology such as Seedance are really blowing my mind, and I'm so excited to see where this journey goes right now. So if you are someone who is interested in AI filmmaking, getting better, learning more, and make sure to subscribe to this channel, because that's exactly what we're doing right here on John Filmmaking and John Cinematics. So you've probably watched this video already that we played at the start. And let's get into this one. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to share with you a lot of behind the scenes techniques, prompts, things I do when I want to create something like that video we just watched in the background right here. So very nice video, loved making it. And I want to share with you just my workflow, some of the things I use to do this. And hopefully it can help you, because there's some things in here, even though AI is not perfect. Anyone who says, you can just jump straight into Higgsfield and into the AI world and just prompt away and it's going to be all perfect. They're lying. It's not true. It can be quite a little bit messy, but I'll share with you some things in this video which can help you get the outputs you want, and also what to do when it doesn't go right as well, because you can actually do some pretty cool stuff with what you're given. So remember, we're right on the frontiers. We're in the trenches of AI artwork and AI filmmaking. And there's some pretty cool stuff going on right now. So let's just run through this thing. I just want to give you an idea. So anytime, look, you're going to create a film, you have to have an idea. I had the idea of, I love this video game. As a kid, I used to play the game Diablo. This is what the world actually looked like in Diablo. So if you have no idea what this game is, you're probably like, what the hell is this? But it was a very old game. It's like from 1996. Look at the pixels. It's so basic. But the great thing is, which is so exciting, with artificial intelligence, I can bring this to life to make it hyper realistic. Even though, look, I did it. It wasn't like one-to-one perfectly correlated. But you know what? It created the atmosphere. And on this channel, what I like to do is I like just to get stuff out there. So I'm not going to just get bogged down forever trying to get everything perfect. I just want to get something good out there so I can keep exploring the tech and staying on the front lines of the technology, because that's where we need to be as AI filmmakers, or learning, or aspiring, or as aspiring AI filmmakers right here. But that's the town. I wanted to bring this to life, so I had an idea of, let's bring it to life, Game of Thrones style, cinematic style. I want to bring the dread. I wanted to bring the gloom. I wanted to bring the doom. I wanted to, bring the audience, the viewer, into a very, very, what's the word? Like a desperate town, medieval town, probably in, medieval times in Europe, and having to fight demonic beings underneath this church or this cathedral in the top of the map. So, I had the idea. I didn't actually go into the whole image prompting thing, where you screenplay like every shot out, which I know what people do in like long-term movies. But I had a track, and this actually influenced the way I went about this work. But the track, if you haven't heard it before, the Boots, it's actually the trailer music to 28 Years Later, which I loved the first half of that movie. I didn't like the second half of the movie at all. But they put together a great trailer with that Boots, which is actually a poem from, it's like 100 years old. So the narrator of that music, or that poem that wrote that poem, it's more than 100 years old, and it's like an anti-war poem from South Africa and Britain. Literally, a lot of history into that. But that was a great song to build dread and also to build tension. And the other thing to understand was, as well, that was going to influence my my video prompting as well, because I had to go with very fast scenes towards the end of the video. And, you know, a bit slower to build up the tension at the start. You'd see that kind of come out. But I had a general idea of, you know, I wanted, you know, the heroes to kind of slowly march through, build the tension, and then we get into some big violent action. And it was violent indeed. And it was very cool. But it synced up perfectly, very well to the music. But having said that, look, so you're going to have to start off with a setting. So this was the setting. I need to make this realistic. So all I did with this, I actually used a very simple prompt. If we have a look right here, take a low angle ground level cinematic photo of the attached reference, capture the gloomy atmosphere, make it ultra realistic. And that's what it came out with. And I thought, look, that's good enough. I like that. I really like that. There was a few other outputs that came out, but I said, let's go with this one. This one looks great. And from that, though, we'll talk about it later, but I had to make a video from this as well. But that was one of the inputs. So just referencing something that's previously existing, so that PC game, and then, you know, creating this output right here, which then goes into the video prompt later on, okay? But before you even get to that, you need to establish a setting. So I had that setting. I also had another setting, which was this, the front of the church, and that was actually based off that output I created. So you can see how the chain of outputs is kind of creating itself right here. So we have this output, and then we reference that to create another, you know, close-up of the front of the church/cathedral. And that created our second setting, which was quite prominent in the movie, in the cinematic right here. So that one came in here. And that was a very simple prompt as well. So I wasn't actually using my screenplay assistant that I'll share with you later in the video, but that was a very basic, you know, prompt. Create another low angle, you know, looking directly up of the church cathedral with the red glow coming out of it. And keep the atmosphere and architecture consistent. I was using Nano Banana Pro, and I'm in Higgsfield at the moment. That's where I'm at right here. So that was another shot. And then from that, you also need your characters, right? And the most important thing, so if you're very new to AI filmmaking used to suck because the characters would not stay consistent, which would drop the believability of anything you created, and everyone would just know it's like AI slop straight away, which is problematic because you can put a lot of effort into AI films, and when it starts to like hallucinate and it starts to get away from, you know, its true, you know, being, it just sucks. It just sucks. The whole experience sucks for the viewer. It sucks for the creator. But you do need to get some characters together. One of the best ways to do this is to create a character sheet. So you can see right here a character sheet. I got a hallucination out of this, but we worked around it. It was fine in the end. This was the one we went with in the end. And I was also, to some degree, referencing some of the original gameplay, you know, theme costume, but the original output I actually got, I changed it again because it didn't look good. Actually, I'll try and show it to you. But you can see right here on the left, this character was the original one, but you can see his armor that he's wearing, this male armor, even though it might have been accurate to the game and the character in the game. It just didn't do him any favors, and he looks just not like your typical hero in, you know, glowing armor that I wanted the look for. So this is just something you're going to work through in AI. You're going to get different outputs, and then you can change it. So all I did was I changed the armor. So I didn't like that chainmail armor that just didn't fit his body very well, and we actually modified it to one of these ones right here. So this style of armor right here, which ended up being much better. But that's what you have to do. So you do need to come up with character reference sheets. This will keep your characters consistent throughout the movie. If you do not have this, you do not have the multiple angles, guess what? Every time you go create a video, it's going to hallucinate some different things. So it's almost pointless actually trying to create an AI like cinematic or even film without a character reference sheet, unless that character is just not going to reappear in a scene again. Okay, so very important. And that was our character for the rogue. We actually had a character reference sheet for the little goat men as well, hiding away in the dungeon. Very scary actually, but that one came to life relatively okay. And then once we have all that, you know, it's a way to prompting. So I already kind of knew what I was going to prompt into AI. I did use, actually, as this evolved, and it is continuing to evolve, did actually use Claude to help out with this. So I had a screenplay assistant project set up with my files right here in the right-hand side with the element roster with a big instruction on how to actually create this. So this is looking at the cutting edge of some of the other prompts out there. But this was quite helpful in structuring my prompts and also, doing the administrative work of making sure all the files are consistent. So I could just like put some rough ideas into Claude, and that would help me prompt some of the scenes, and then I would review it and change what I want. But this is actually a cool thing you can set up with your character reference sheet and your settings as well. So I've got my settings in here, tagged. I am using the interface of Higgsfield, so I quite like Higgsfield. One thing they do is they do allow you to also set up references. So if you go to video right here, and Seedance is all the rage right now. That's what I'm using. One thing you can see with all my prompts is they are referencing things that need to be referenced. So in this one, which turned out perfectly with the video prompt, close-up of warrior's face and clasped hands, eyes closed, lips moving in a whispered prayer, warm candlelight, etc., etc. You can read the whole thing. I'll just pause it here. But it's referencing it as a character element, okay? So in Higgsfield itself, you can go here, where is it? Elements, and you can have some elements in here as well, which is pretty cool. So you can work with some elements. We had the boy in there as well, worked, and that one turned out very, very nicely. So with the video prompting itself, some prompts are going to come out perfect, right? So some renditions of what you put in are going to come out perfect. Like this one, I didn't have to change anything. I was super happy. I think Seedance absolutely exceeds at close-up emotional work. That's where it's very good. It does hallucinate. It does come up with some crazy stuff that I'll show you later in the video. But I'll also remind you, you still use it, and I'll explain to you a little bit later in here. This was one of my favorite shots of the whole thing. So this shaky handheld POV shot, fantastic from Seedance with the characters at the end right here. That's the prompt. So if you want to pause the video, copy that, you can. But that was a very, very nice idea. Dark dungeon, shaky POV, the POV is the monster coming to get these guys. And the acting as well from Seedance is honestly, it's phenomenal, right? This is why it is so exciting to make AI films. It is getting to this level where it's real, right? So if I wanted to do this in real life, let's be honest, this would cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars to make this level. And people wouldn't be able to tell. Honestly, like if you showed someone on the street this clip, they'd probably think it's real, right? It looks highly realistic. Another similar shot of the same thing with the closed in at the end, the pause. Look at the breathing, look at the face of the woman. So it really is that good, the acting. It is so good. And again, this looks completely real. Like, anyone saying, oh, I think I know that's fake. BS. I call BS on that. I think it's highly, highly believable. And that's what, look, as pioneers, we're right at the front end of this stuff, and it is getting more and more exciting. And these shots are also perfect. Look, this is the quality of Game of Thrones, right? If not better. Like it's getting that well. And the fact that I can create this in my own room from a prompt, like this makes me very, very excited. I've been waiting a long time for this, and here I am. And I hope you're excited as well. But that's another great shot. I didn't even end up using that shot, but there was plenty of great boot shots as well. But that is looking great as well. One thing I want to tell you guys is you can salvage things. So there's going to be elements of clips, right? So if you make a long clip, Seedance is not going to always generate the perfect thing. But as a filmmaker, as a creative director, look, you also want to be, economical, right? We're not all billionaires who have like 1 trillion credits on Higgsfield or Seedance or VO3 just to burn through like it's nobody's business. You want to be economical. And I've got, look, the belief that you just want to get some good stuff out there, right? It's not going to have to be perfect. We don't have all the time in the world to make perfect. Unless, of course, look, HBO said that they wanted to make like a Diablo series, or, Amazon wanted to make it. I'd say, look, yeah, we'll tie it all up and make it 4K. All my clips, by the way, only in 720p, not 4K. I rendered it all just 720p, being economical, right? Because I want to make more and more of these AI cinematics as time goes on. And I need the credits. This one right here. So I just want to teach you guys, so you can salvage clips. So right here, we used that from the video, and the reason we didn't use the rest of it is because look at this, a little bit of comedy coming in. This guy gets stabbed and then they run off like they're actors. So this is the funny stuff in AI. So when you create AI, it's almost like it gives you like a free comedy show. And this is just, look, where we're working with at the moment. This one, I edited out the start. I didn't want all the sparks in this, but I salvaged this. It was another great clip, synced up perfectly to some music. And we're going to see a boom headshot come in, boom headshot. And we used that like perfectly in a very high tempo spot, synced up to the music, right? Very cool stuff. And this one right here, we salvaged this as well because one of the problems is I wanted them fighting underground. As a mistake, I just didn't put that in the prompt. I didn't specify that it was supposed to be actually underground, but you can actually see there's sky there, which was a problem, but I just edited it out. And if I wanted to salvage this clip, we could do some color grading and things like that to make it really, really high quality. But I just thought, I just left it as is, and we just cropped here, this little section here, and put that into the video. What else we got right here? Again, we used part of this clip. We didn't use all the clip because look at this. These comedic little goat men, they're running around. And look, this guy just runs up the side of the stairs like, I don't know what he's doing. He's just running off set. He's not getting paid for that clip. That guy is not getting paid at all. So I'm not paying him any money for his AI acting right there. But you can see, like, it's just some of the stuff hallucinates or doesn't do what you intend to do it, but you can salvage it. So you just edit around it, use what you can. And especially for cinematic trailers. So if you're interested in the cinematic trailers, generally you only need like 5 seconds or so in a spot. But having said that, obviously it's a longer thing, but you can use the, that was the prompt we went with. And there truly is some comedic stuff. You can just see it in Seedance. It's not perfect. Like that stuff is just what the F is going on right there. But I would say most of the stuff comes out, relatively good. You're going to get some perfect stuff you'll be blown away with when you prompt. Some stuff will be salvageable. Other stuff you just have to laugh and just, it's just the world we're in right now. So it's not perfect, but it is getting better. Remember, there's 2.5 coming out. There's all these new versions of Seedance coming out in the future. But that is a very economical way to just run with things. As you practice, as you edit more videos, as you direct more films, that's what you want to be doing. And really, at the end of the day, I just used DaVinci Resolve to edit in. So DaVinci Resolve, it's completely free software. So if you're just doing this kind of basic level stuff, and I was just cutting stuff, I was just cutting things out or just zooming in, really basic editing. And that's all I used. And we synced it up to the music and away we went. But that's a general overview of how you're going to have to use Seedance at the moment for your filmmaking. You can use, there's going to be some evolutions to this as time goes on, but hopefully this just helps, right? So definitely salvage where you can. You're going to get some great stuff, some great prompting. Leverage off Claude for just structuring some prompts as well. That can be quite helpful. Save you some time, and also Claude can come up with some creative things as well within that. But at the end of the day, look, this is all about freedom, right? You have the freedom to come up with your own idea. You have the freedom to come up with a setting. You have the freedom to come up with the characters. You have the freedom to come up with your own screenplay. So it's all on you now. So you really do have so much potential to do whatever you want. And that's why I'm so excited, right? So if you are part of filmmaking, if you want to join in, guys, subscribe. In the future, I'll probably have some cool links in the description of this video and a secret bonus for you guys. And I will most likely be appearing in my own films in the future at some stage as well. That's a secret bonus. So I will be on camera and I will be participating, because I think there's no more exciting thing to do than be in your own film. So I'll be in my own films coming up in the future. So you'll see me on camera coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. And that is a big wrap for Game of Thrones style cinematics, and hopefully you got some value out of it. If you did like the video, check out the links in the description on this video. New links coming soon. Check the pinned comments, we'll have some cool stuff there. But I appreciate you watching, and I'm excited. If you want to join the journey with me, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.